In the last 15 years, I've had a chance to work with thousands of people in sales, one-on-one, in a group setting, in webinars, in sessions just like this. And we coach to this idea of selling more by talking less. Now, before we jump into that, I thought it would make sense if we step back a little bit before we start talking about mindsets, strategies, and techniques to get more of what you're going after on purpose. Let's back up just a little bit and talk about this whole idea of sales. Let's spend just a couple of minutes thinking about why salespeople fail. There are legions of people in sales out there working really, really hard every day using a system that just doesn't work anymore. I don't know if you can relate to this at all, but traditional sales methods, a lot of times they feel uncomfortable. People tell me all the time, Bob, I just don't feel like I can do the things that I think that I have to do in order to be a top performing salesperson. Let me ask you, let's stop right there. When you think of that term, salesperson, what kind of images come to your mind? Is it a kind of a sleazy, in it for themselves, pushy, self-centered person that just doesn't stop talking, doesn't let you get a word in edgewise? This whole idea of being a professional in sales, it has a lot of negative connotations around it, doesn't it? In fact, there's even a saying about salespeople, right, that are really, really good. How does it go? That person is so good they could sell ice to, Eskimos. Why would an Eskimo want to buy ice? All these things, they kind of lay in this idea that somebody who's really good at sales has to be pushy, that they have to be self-centered, that they have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get the sale and almost trick people into buying. Almost like it's a competition. If you buy, I win. If they don't buy, then I lose. And in fact, one of the reasons a lot of these stereotypes even exist is that there's 3 steps. They're worn out, they're ineffective, but there's a 3-step process that's being used in almost every industry. I'm going to spend a few minutes going through that with you, see if you can recognize it in your world. They're tired, they're worn out, they don't work anymore, and they're literally setting you up to fail. In fact, when we start this sales process, we're almost repelling people to have them say no. It reminds me of a really silly example. It happened just a couple of weeks ago. In my house, I like to do most of the cooking for dinner during the week. And on the weekends, I'll go grocery shopping to get everything that we're going to need. My daughter, who's 12, she still likes me, so she'll go with me to the grocery store. Now, a couple of weeks back, we went into a Costco. And as soon as we walked in, there was a guy standing there almost right in the entranceway. And he was wearing a DirecTV polo style shirt, and he had a clipboard. And he said, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a couple of questions about your cable bill?" I said, "No, thanks, I'm not interested." Well, so we started pushing the cart, walking towards the back of the store where they keep all the meats and all that stuff. And my daughter asked me a question. She said, "Dad, how come you didn't want to talk to that guy about the cable bill? You're always saying that cable's too expensive and you don't even know why we still have it." Well, I had to explain to her that while the man was probably very nice, he didn't want to talk to me about the cable bill. What he really wanted to talk to me about was DirecTV and how if by switching over, I could save all kinds of money. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't watch a lot of television, so I genuinely don't care. But it was interesting. Looking at what just happened from a 12-year-old standpoint, here's what she saw. A very nice man saying, "I'd like to talk to you about your cable bill," and me saying, "No, thanks, I'm not interested." Now, on the surface, that seems like a very logical process, and my response just didn't match. But here's what you and I know. That guy didn't want to talk to me about my cable bill. What he wanted to do was put me into his process, those 3 steps that we're all aware of, and we can feel them coming as customers. We can feel them coming, and because we know how this ends up, we stop before the salesperson even gets started, and the same thing's happening to you and I when we go out to present what we offer to people. So here's those 3 steps. Let's talk about them, break each one down, and really kind of uncover how these 3 steps are setting us up to fail.